Hey players, I wanted to go over something that I think might be fun for and helpful, not just when we're playing and not just when we're trying to improve, but hopefully when you're watching on television or you're going to games, some of the things that you'll see and some of the statistics that you'll see will be hopefully this will help make a little bit more sense and add to your enjoyment of the game. So what I'm going to do, I'll quickly go through a summary of where we are now through our first four games. I plan on doing one of these in the middle of the season and then at the end of the season as well. And what you're looking at right here are a lot of statistics that you will see when you watch, like if you watch Major League Baseball on television, you'll see some of these statistics. So I thought it would be really fun and really cool to help explain what some of these statistics mean using our statistics through the first four games. So we've played four games so far. We've played two league games and two non-league games. Of those four games, we have two wins, one loss, and one tie. So if you look at that first table, we have a winning percentage of 500. That means we've won two out of four games. Our non-loss percentage is 750. That means two wins plus one tie. Three of the four games we've played, we have either won or tied. We have that's why our percentage is 750. Now, something else really cool that you'll see when you look at team statistics is runs scored or RS, RA, runs allowed, and RD, run differential. And basically, these runs scored means the total number of runs that your team has scored. In our case, we have 15 so far in the first four games. That's really good. Um, runs allowed or RA is the number of runs that an opponent has scored against you. So far we've given up 8 runs through the first four games. That we've given up on average 2 runs a game, right? Our run differential is +7, 15 minus 8, +7. If a team has a plus run differential, that means they're scoring more runs than they're giving up or they're allowing, which is something that's really good and typically means a team is having a good year. If we look at our batting statistics as a team, all of us together, through the first four games, we have 78 plate appearances and we have 52 at bats. Now, quickly, let me explain what the difference between a plate appearance and an at bat is. A plate appearance is every time that we get up to bat, including if we get a hit, if we strike out, if we walk, if we get a hit by pitch, whatever. Okay, every single time that we've gotten up. An at bat is whenever we get up to bat, excluding when we walk or when we get hit by a pitch. Um, so your plate appearances and a team's plate appearances are almost always going to be higher than your at bats. So you could see we have 78 plate appearances, we have 52 at bats. Okay. Um, so far, we have seen 346 pitches. Our opponents have thrown 346 pitches to us, which means we're being really patient at the plate. That's really, really good. We have 13 hits as a team so far on the season through the first four games. That's something really good. Now, if you go down and you look at the next row of statistics, AVG, that means average, our batting average. Our batting average as a team is 250. Now, that means 25% of our at-bats, we've gotten a hit. The way you calculate a batting average is hits divided by at-bats. So basically 13 divided by 52 in our case. Now, next you'll see OB. That means on base percentage. Our on base percentage as a team is 513, which means 51% of the time that we have gone up to bat, we've gotten on base, either through a hit, a walk, or a hit by pitch. On base percentages, that's calculated using hits plus walks plus hit by pitch divided by plate appearances. So in our case, that means that's the 13 hits we have plus the 23 walks that we have on the season plus the 4 hit by pitches we have divided by 78, the number of plate appearances we have on the season. We also on the season have struck out 30 times so far in the first four games. Now, quickly, if we look at our pitching statistics through the first four games, a total of 6 different pitchers have appeared in a game. Those 6 pitchers have combined to throw 304 pitches to our opponents. So compare the number of pitches we've thrown to opponents, 304, versus the number of pitches opponents have thrown to us, 346. Our opponents have thrown us 42 more pitches than we have, which means one, we're being really efficient at the plate, which is real. I'm sorry, we're being really patient at the plate, which is really, really good. We're also being really efficient with our pitches and efficient in the field, which is something that's really, really good, especially at this age. And when you see that type of efficiency, that typically means the team's doing really, really well. So we're in a good spot right now. We've played 14 innings so far, and we faced 68 batters, which that just means 68 opponents have come to bat against us. We've recorded 42 outs. Of those outs, of those 42 outs, 37 have been strikeouts, which is really, really good for us. We're being very efficient and we're striking out a lot of people, which is something that's really good. We've allowed 13 walks. Now, we've walked 23 times as a team. We've allowed 13 walks. So we have a walk differential of plus 10. Again, we're in that positive range. We're doing something really, really well. We've allowed 7 hits on the year. That means we have a run. I'm sorry, we have a hit differential of plus 6. Again, positive range. That's something that's really, really good. Earned runs, we've given up 6 earned runs. Now, the difference between an earned run and a run allowed is a run allowed is every run that's scored in a game or in a season. Earned runs are those runs that are scored off of a hit or a walk or something like that, not those runs that are assisted by an error or some type of mistake we've made. So that basically means of the 8 runs we've allowed so far, 2 runs that we've allowed have occurred because of some type of mistake we made, some type of error that we made. Okay. Um, we've hit 5 people. We've hit 5 opponents with our pitches. This is the only category that we are a negative differential in. We're a -1, but we're still close to that 0 range, which is something that's really good. And we'll talk more about that later in the season. The last thing I want to go over is ERA. That's an earned run average. Earned run average equals the number of earned runs divided by the innings pitched multiplied by 9. It's multiplied by 9 because in Major League Baseball they play a full game is 9 innings. So that's just how an ERA is calculated. In our case, we wouldn't use 6 innings as an ERA or to calculate an ERA because we're not really going to play 6 innings a whole lot. So far this season, we've played 3 innings, 4 innings, and 5 innings. We haven't played 6 innings the whole time. So typically, when people calculate ERA, they just use 9 because that's what's used in Major League Baseball. So we have an ERA of 3.86, which basically means our earned runs, 6, divided by 14, the number of innings we've pitched so far, multiplied by 9. That's how we get an ERA of 3.86, which that means we are allowing less than 4 runs a game. Um, that's something that's really, really good. And so I hope this helps not only enjoy the rest of the season and understand things with the rest of the season, but when you're watching on television or you go to a game and you see some of these statistics, I hope it helps you enjoy the game a little bit more. And we'll talk more about this. So if you have questions, we'll talk more about it in practice. We'll talk more about it during games or after games. Feel free to ask any questions you guys have. All right. Thank you.